Hiya folks, today we're going to start disassembling the Mobylette Moped, which is a step-through moped. I think it's about 1971 or 72. Let's have a look at it. Okay folks, this is it. It's a 1972, I think, Mobylette step-through moped. And it's in a bit of a state, as you can probably see here. There's lots of corrosion on the tinware. These are all metal, these front mud guards, and also the rear mud guards. As you can see, it's very festery around the joint there. Obviously water's got in. And it's quite an unusual one where it's got two chains. It appears to have two chains. On this side, as you can see, when I turn the pedal, it seems to have some sort of bicycle chain there and some sort of tensioner mechanism there. And if you come around the other side, we do have a standard looking chain case as well. And there, I would imagine there appears to be some sort of chain in there. And coming to the front, we do have some sort of variator with a belt mechanism and again some sort of a clutch mechanism here. So there is some sort of method for starting the bike via pedaling. So I'm going to take it all apart. A lot of these parts are going to be redundant. I did get this from auction many years ago. Can you hear how crunchy that seat is there? So let's start taking it apart, get all the parts into their itemised bits and see what we can refurbish and see what we need to change, see what we can modify. I don't know whether or not I'm going to be putting it back to standard yet. I'm not too sure, but let's make a start on it. So let's get going. So there you go, the rear mudguard was a separate item. There's no rot on the main frame, so that's good. We haven't got to do anything to that apart from shot blast it, treat it and powder coat it. That shock absorber hanger on that side, as you probably saw, the bolt snapped on that, so I will source some new bolts for that. I won't take the swinging arm off yet because the swinging arm is connected to the centre stand, which the bike's standing on at the moment. So I'll take a few more of these ancillaries off, and then we'll finally take the engine out. And yeah, I think that'll basically be it. So I'll put you on a bit of time lapse for that. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, got most of the controls off now. Just going to take this old rubber. There we go. Keep that for a pattern. There we go. Not too sure how these come out of there. You may have to thread the inner all the way through the sleeving first, because there's no sort of slit in these like there normally is on modern bikes. And that olive hasn't got a little way to come out. So I'll have to investigate that. Right. I've undone the first bolt there. I may just have to shift the chassis around a little bit, because I can't get my socket under there. Everything is awkward. Let's undo that clamp that's holding the front wheel. So I'm going to lose my stability in a minute, because I'm pulling it out so that I can get a good kick around on the steering wheel. Look at me on the steering wheel, on the handlebar bracket. And of course the ones on the back is a long socket, 10mm, so I've got to get a long 10mm socket. And the chances are this may be too long. No, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. That's why you need a wide selection of tools when you're in restoration or doing restorations. And also most of these bolts will need replacing because they have seized on. Although the handlebar ones are coming off alright. And there's a little steadying bracket there, as you can see. There we go. So I should put that back on there. Keep them on there. As you can see, the one at the back was a longer thread on it. Or should I say the one at the front of the bike. That's the way that goes back on. There we go. That's the handlebars off. Right, that's it. Last clamp off. Right, okay then, so let's try and get these nuts undone on this wheel. The bracket, which is holding the mudguard on, these were absolutely rusted on and also rounded off. I got that side off alright, as you can see, without too many problems, but I did start to encounter problems on the inside bolt. It was rounded off, and I thought to myself, well, I'll try a few different things like grips or whatever, and that obviously never worked, and there's not much space in there to work at as well, so I did try mold grips, and in the end I had to resort to my good old trusted Dremel type tool and cut through the actual bolt. This was the last one actually. You always get one that holds it on, and this was the last one, and again, as I said, it was right up at the back. Well, that was a bit of pain. As you can see, the bolts that are stuck are the ones that you really can't get to, and lucky enough we got the Dremel type tool, and that's done the job. I can't remove this yet until I take the wheel off, because it's got to drop down, and before I take the wheel off I think I'll try and get the engine out. Well, there shouldn't be too much holding this in. We've got some sort of spring clip attachment here, carry bolt up there, so I'll undo that first I think. I've only got my quarter drive kit out here at the moment, so this will have to do. Shouldn't be that tight anyway. Right, and as normal, the bolt at the back is spinning, so I'll put an adjustable on there. My main socket set is at the front of the house. I'll just make do with what I've got at the moment, because this is obviously not all happening in one day. This is filmed over a few days, obviously, or a few weeks even. So let's just undo this. Right, okay, so that's that nut undone. That would just need pushing out now, so There should be some sort of pivot point here, I would have thought. And I'm not sure how it's fixed, although the exhaust bracket is fixed to the engine, so that can come off with the engine. So this spring attachment here, let's go around the other side and have a quick look. I think what I might do is just take that pin out, and maybe this just drops around that spring there, as you can see there. It's a little bit dark in there, I know, but there is some sort of spring thing there. So if I just drift this out, it's not heavy, the engine anyway, so I should be able to just drop it down. Right, let's try and tap that through and see what happens. There we go. Right, now does this just drop down? Right, there's a spacer that's dropped out this side of the engine, remember that one? There is a cable there, hold on. Coming down, that's the back light cable there that goes through the swinging arm by the looks of it. Yep, so that can come through there. So yeah, there's that strange sort of spring contraption, which I think might need to be undone. It does bolt to the frame, so I'll undo that other bolt there, which looks like a 10mm, and then I'll come back to you. Right, I don't know whether you can see that or not, folks, but that is a 10mm. Is it turning? No, it should be able to unscrew it. This is what separates it from the body, this sort of spring thing. Right, I've got the nut off. The bolt's lifting out now, as you can see. There we go. And that should just drop down. I'll disconnect the throttle slide by just taking that screw out there. That should give me a bit more freedom then. I don't know where that's come from. We'll find out. Undo that. Well, that should lift the top of the carb off and the throttle slide. There we go, that's better. I'll just put that screw back in there for the moment. Right, I think that's all off this side, so let me come back around that side. We've got the oil feed pipe, which is holding it on. We'll just cut that little oil feed pipe there. There we go. I don't think there's anything in there, is there? Now, as I say, we've got the electrical harness up there, but I think the engine's actually out now. There we go. So, right, the engine is out. So the loom cable is holding it in. Now, this looks like a left-handed thread, looking at the way people have undone this before. So let's just have a little tap down there, see how loose it is. There we go. So let's just undo that. Which is a left-handed thread. You can buy these new. Someone's really mullered that in the past. Look. There we go. Get the magnets off. That all looks to be in pretty good order. That might polish up. Might be able to use that again. Stator plate looks okay. Although it could do with a bit of a clean. The points are there. So let's undo all this gubbins. Yep, that's an 8mm. There's only two of them by the looks of them, so let's undo them. A couple of little washers on there. Same with the bottom one. And again, a couple of little washers on there. I will be stripping this engine completely down, by the way, just to give it a good overhaul. There's another pair of nuts there, which is a, is it a 9mm? Yep. There we go, look, they've got some sort of sleeve on there, look. And they look like they hold the coils on. The Magneto coils. Take them off. I think you've got to bend them tabs over on these ones, the opposing ones. And then it'll lift off, because it looks like they're bolted down by 4 bolts. So let's just flatten them off. There we go. Same with the bottom one. Right, those are 7mm. And there's a little clip on that one, as you can see there. So if we undo that, I thought the stator plate would have come off in one go. I may be wrong, but right, there we go. That's a little clip there. I see, right, okay, so that's that one. And if we do the bottom one, like that, and then that one should lift away there. The point should lift off as well. we go. Points are lifting up, there we go. There you go there. And the little condenser that side. There we go. You see that? Alright, I'm going to leave that like that for the moment because I'm not too sure exactly how that comes off yet. There's a single grey cable there which goes to the points. That one there, so that can come off, look. There'll be a picture of this online somewhere for me to put it all back together, I know, but that's why I like doing these videos as well, for a reference point, you know. So we'll just take that cable screw out of there. Keep the washer, put that back on there. And that one at the bottom of the points is where the grey cable connects, that one there. Which obviously can pull through now. Although there is a grommet in there and I don't think that's going to pull through that grommet. Maybe. Yes, it will. There we go. Right, so that's that one out, going to the points. So perhaps I could have just maybe just cut that one or something, I'm not sure. Let's turn it around. For the moment, I think I'm just going to... Oh, there we go. Someone's put a connector on there. They probably had this engine out before, so I probably really didn't need to take this apart, but there you go, it's done. So let's just lift this complete unit now, hopefully, out of the way. There we go. I can put all them charging module bits now in a box and they can be refurbished and cleaned up. Get the engine right out of the way. Okay, let's try and get these wheels off. There we go. Easy to undo the other side. That was a 16mm nut, by the way, folks. Oh, God, that's tight, isn't it? Right, I'm having to hold back the other side. Not holding the threads, holding the body of the bar. That was well tight, and I needed the breaker bar on that one to get it undone, as you can see. So, that front wheel should now drop out. If I've disconnected everything. There we go. There we go. Can come right out of the way. Put that down there. Front mudguard can come off. And that is now ready for refurbishment. I don't know whether that's too far gone or whether I have to source another one of them, but if not, I'll put a chrome one on there, I think. But we'll see how we go. It might be available, but it's well perforated there. Same as the other one, all rusted down the crease there, so we'll have to see how we go with it. So the fork legs, looks like just 2 bolts there, or caps or whatever, which are literally loose on this. Well, that one was. With 2 knurled, slotted screws up there. I think if we take off the main headstock bolt, don't know how rare these little caps are. It's got a little M on it, so I want to preserve that, don't want to damage that if possible. This will have new bearings in, by the way, folks. Now I'm presuming this cap should lift off now. Got a little soft blow mallet there. Nope. Tell you what, let's get this headlight out of the way. Make life a bit easier, wouldn't it? 9,910 miles this thing's done. And all that many years ago, I would imagine. There we go, like that. There's all my wires. I like to put the bolts back in wherever I can, because otherwise you're left with a sea of bolts, not knowing where they go. Black's on the horn, that one, that just pulls off of there. Black on this side. And red on the other side, so that's disconnected the horn. And those terminals are screwed on there. I'll just undo that. Get that cover off. I didn't know that was broke, so there you go. Finding out new stuff all the time. Look, see? Right, well, let's leave that like that for the moment then. Put that screw back in there. And I think if I just undo this screw there, that's the one that holds the plate on. Is that screwdriver small enough, I wonder? And it's going to be rusted, isn't it? Of course it is. think I'm gonna have to grind it off, folks. There we go. Let's try that, there we go. That can get that right out of the way then. There we go, headlamp's out. Little negative on the side of the lamp. There's the speedo, 9,910 miles. Okay, so how does this come off then? 9 mils, I don't know what they do. Let's undo these. They might hold the shrouds on. All a learning curve if you've never done one before. Yeah, tiny little screws there, look. I think there's a couple on each fork leg. There we go. 2. 3. One more up here. 4 of them. Now what happens? Have a look. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they drop out of there like that. So if I push that back like that, there we go. Oh, look at that, look. That's it. That's your suspension, look. No oil. There you go, just grease. So they can be refurbished. Now this is the fuel tank. That, I take it, is a dipstick for the fuel tank. How does that come off? Under the logos maybe? Let's take that little logo off there, look. I don't know if there's anything underneath it. Right, okay. Mobylette. I probably can't get them no more. There is a screw under there as well. Looks like it's holding that plate on, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. See if it takes that cover off. Okay. Yep. Now, will that lift off? Yes, it does. There we go, folks. Ah, there you go. So that is the actual fuel tank built into the frame of the bike. These are just covers. I imagine they'd polish up quite nicely. They don't look too bad. Right, okay then. So I think you can see we've done a lot of progress now. I've got things like the swinging arm to get off the centre stand. Just strip down the forks and take the pulley off, the big flywheel pulley. And then basically that's just it. So I'll do that off camera. You haven't got to really see that. The next video we're going to start refurbishing the parts that we can. I will have to start sourcing a few other parts, obviously, especially nuts and bolts and stuff like that. I think I probably will need a new front mudguard, so I will be investigating that as well. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget, hit the old like and the subscribe button down there. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and there's plenty of content on my channel that will keep you going for ages. Thanks very much, folks. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.